It's a cool spring evening in Southern California, but here at Dignity Health Sports Park at the Track and Field Stadium, the scorching hot attack of the Tulsa Roughnecks gets set for a visit to LA Galaxy 2 tonight in USL Championship Soccer. Great to have you along, for the pleasure of your company, alongside Troy Bharti. I'm Christian Miles, and Troy, now the Galaxy are growing in confidence, but tonight they have their toughest test yet.
Well, they do. They're playing a team on top of the Western Conference and a team that has scored already 13 goals in their 5 games, so the G2 defense certainly will be tested here this evening.
All right, well, we take a look at the way it shapes up for this Tulsa Roughnecks teams coming into this game in the top position in the Western Conference. 3 wins, 1 draw, and 1 defeat. And a big player for them, uncharacteristically, their top scorer is a right back in Luca Lobo.
Yeah, who would think their right back would be leading the team in goals, but he's done just that with 5 goals and accumulating those 5 goals in 3 games, so someone to watch out for, especially on set pieces.
Tulsa coming off that big win last Friday against Rio Grande Valley FC. The LA Galaxy coming off a 3-2 triumph over Portland Timbers 2, and Tomas Hilliard Arce playing a huge role for Mike Munoz's men.
And what an exciting game that was here. Scoring the game-winning goal in the 90th minute, 2 goals on the night for Hilliard Arce. Hopefully he can continue that nice run of form tonight.
All right, it will be the 9th meeting between these two. When we return, we'll get it all started. It's LA Galaxy 2 and the Roughnecks next in USL Championship Soccer. Stay with us. Space, Achapong, a wonder goal. That's how you do it.
Good job here for the Galaxy. Here's Munoz. You find Rolf Felcher, he's got a chance at goal, fire, scores! Chris Pontius! Brings it over to the right side, here's Antuna. Watched by one defender, Antuna taking it toward the end line, gets the cross away, right in front, score! Sebastian Legend! 3-1 Galaxy!
We respect the past
and chase the future.
Maybe you just haven't discovered us yet, but here's a news flash.
We've been great.
We're just getting started.
This is LA.
Welcome you back to Carson, California. A big night tonight in USL Championship Soccer. Happy to have you along here on ESPN Plus, an all-Western Conference affair, as the 9th place LA Galaxy 2, sitting on 6 points through their first 4 games, take on the Roughnecks, the conference leaders from Oklahoma. Christian Miles alongside Troy Bharti. Troy, let's take a look at the starting lineups tonight. We're going to begin with the away team here, and no changes for manager Michael Encian from the team that won 2-1 back 8 days ago against Rio Grande Valley FC.
Yeah, in the back line, you have Anthony Legendre, Cyprian Hedrick, Malin Roberts, and Luca Lobo. Jeff Adai playing the 6, Christian Altamirano, Fabian Bastidas, Rodrigo De Costa, Akil Barrett in the midfield, and Janu Silva up top with Mason Stidehar in goal.
And Mason Stidehar, of course, making his professional debut last weekend in that triumph over Rio Grande Valley FC. displacing Sean Lewis as the number one. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But this is a team that has really racked up the goals, scoring 13, a league high so far for Los Dos. 4 big changes from the team that beat Portland Timbers 2. We'll see Vom Steeg in goal with Gallagher and Hilliard Arce pairing in central defense.
And that's going to be fun to watch tonight. it's nice to see that Mike Munoz has a consistent back line this evening, as none of those changes are coming in the back line, as you have Justin Fittis, Michael Gallagher, Thomas Hilliard Arce, Nate Schultz, Carlos Harvey, and Ernesto Walker kind of playing that holding role with Don Chilau, Adrian Vera, Kai Koraniak, and Ethan Zubak up top.
And we'll see how it transpires. Mike Munoz, the 35-year-old, and there's a familiar fan, or a familiar face to LA Galaxy fans, and you see Michael Encian on the left, but on his right is his assistant and goalkeepers coach and LA Galaxy idol, Donovan Ricketts, one of the former goalkeepers, is a virtual legend in these parts.
It was nice walking up to the stadium this evening and running into Donovan Ricketts. We shared a couple nice words, chatted for a couple minutes, talked about his team, and of course we had to talk about Zlatan.
And who can't stop talking about Zlatan after that performance last night, the performance last week as well, but this is USL Championship Soccer, and that is the focus right now for the Tulsa Roughnecks, who hit the road once again for the third time this season. And of course, 1 win and 1 defeat, and they do allow a number of goals, and we are underway as Los Dos starting from the right here, and this cross comes in. They will be in the white, attacking the goal to your left. So a big one for them in this long distance effort, that time driven by Carlos Harvey, the Panamanian teenager. It's an all Panamanian midfield with Ernesto Walker and Harvey in those dual holding roles, and that will rely on Korniak to get forward on the right-hand side along with Chilau on the left. Pushed in now and reclaimed by Tulsa. And LA able to get it back before progress is slowed. Real frenetic beginning here. What are you expecting to see early on, Troy?
Expecting to see the Galaxy kind of sit back and see how this team is going to attack them tonight. I think, you know, the back line has been a little suspect over the last few games, and Mike Munoz is looking to shore that back line up this evening.
Well, this one controlled by the Galaxy. And Michael Gallagher, the former University of Washington product, back there with his old college teammate, Justin Fittis, playing a big role. They'll push it forward on this left-hand side behind Kai Koreniuk. And a free kick now for Los Dos. Of course, 1 win and 1 defeat in their previous 2 games. Opening day loss when they were thumped back on March 9th, 4-1 by Colorado Springs Switchback FC. But they've really turned things around since then and put together a pretty good run. 2 wins and 2 defeats, but still looking for more consistency as it comes over for Chilau on that right-hand side. And good piece of skill that time from the former Oregon State Beaver. Put in by Schultz and sharply repelled by Tulsa's Cyprian Hedrick. A goal kick now for Mason Steidehar. Big shoes to fill himself for Sean Lewis, but it's really saying a lot. He's on loan from Orlando City. And after making his professional debut, keeps his spot in a bold decision. Faith kept in the youngster by his head coach, Michael Encian.
And it's just nice to see him on the field, considering he had to battle through a rare form of bone cancer, and yet here he is starting. Pretty exciting stuff.
Triumphant, great story. They'd love to start it off here with an early strike. A little deep right now, but standing over it is Rodrigo De Costa, the Brazilian, wearing the number 25, and pick your poison.
And Roughnecks fan are used to seeing this left foot. It's going to be a well-struck ball with some pace.
So De Costa wearing actually the number 16. And does sit up nicely for his left foot. He'll send one in. Just underneath it right now for the Galaxy. It's well headed out by Carlos Harvey. Tulsa keeping possession, however. And a bright start imperative for them. They've never won here in Carson. The all-time series meeting reading like this: 4 wins for the Galaxy in the previous 8, 2 wins for the Roughnecks, and 2 draws. Last year it was a 1-0 win for Los Dos before losing a couple of weeks later, 2-0 away to Tulsa. The goal kick for Justin Vom Steeg, who displaces Eric Lopez as the preferred goalkeeper tonight for Mike Munoz. And this one will pop out wide now for Janon Silva. Good piece of defending that time from Fittis.
And we mentioned it a little bit in the pregame, but set pieces is where Luca Lobo has done his damage this year in USL Championship. 5 goals coming in a span of 3 consecutive games.
And tied for tops in the league with Cam Iwasa of Sacramento Republic. So first corner of the evening, and will sit up nicely for the in-swinger. And once again, standing over it is De Costa, the tricky Brazilian, who was signed from Florida Soccer Soldiers of the UPSL. So many new faces, complete turnover and overhaul during the offseason, and not the best of deliveries as it's headed clear at that near post. Tracked down by De Costa. Good spell in possession this. The pitch in pristine condition here in Carson, and a tip of the hat to the groundskeeper. And a good grab that time. Confident take from Justin Vom Steeg, who's growing into his own. Vom Steeg, the 21-year-old, already with a clean sheet and a couple appearances so far. And the Galaxy on the gallop here. Vera waits for the support. This is Nate Schultz operating it right back tonight. An interesting setup with Zubak up there as the lone striker and what looks to be a 4-2-3-1, but dispossessed is Vera, and away come Tulsa on the counterattack. Trying to play it up for Silva, and a little too heavy for the Portuguese striker.
Just a little bit of miscommunication there.
You know, such an emphasis right now on defense. Troy, it's a team that the Galaxy have really problems conceding goals. They allowed 4 in their season opener here at home to Colorado Springs Switchbacks, and then altogether 11 goals, the most, tied with Orange County in the entire league.
Well, they gave up that 5 goals in Utah, but came back with a very nice win against T2 last week.
Good ball in, and the safety first approach that time from Lobo. Decent cross on that right-hand side from the Galaxy. Bright start for both of these two. So it'll be first corner of the evening for LA. See if they can draw first blood. Scoring 7 times, good enough coming into today to be ranked and tied as 7th best in USL Championship. We'll see what they conjure up here. Adrian Vera to take it off that left foot. And beware the outswinger, as Gallagher has come forward from central defense. And it's a good header one, flicked in, and a nice save that time from Steidohar. It was at point-blank range, right on the doorstep for Los Dos, but they couldn't capitalize.
And you can bet the Roughnecks have been watching their film and know who they need to mark from G2 on set pieces, and that's Tomas Hilliard Arce, who almost got a toe on that one, Christian.
They scored twice, both off of headers against Portland last weekend. Player that's already got 5 MLS appearances under his belt in just his 2nd season now, and getting some much needed experience here down at the USL Championship level. Gallagher. This is Justin Fittis trying to push it up for Koreniuk to no avail. Just want to keep an assemblage of possession. It's been choppy at times, and sometimes it's lacked fluidity, but when it clicks, it's pretty to behold.
And that's some of the challenges Mike Munoz and his coaching staff face, coaching a USL side affiliated with an MLS side. You know, constant turnover in the lineup. Obviously they have, you know, the quality on paper, but that doesn't always translate into cohesive group like you just mentioned.
Yeah, they don't have the familiarity. Players being called up to the senior team coming back, and you've got a lot of youth out there. There's a little bit more experience on Tulsa's side, and it's really showed. It served them well. And kudos to them for taking advantage. Remember, a league high 13 goals coming into today. 3 above everybody else on the start of Saturday. But they have played 5 games. Direct ball, and trying to pick out the run of Bastidas. And it's intercepted now, and here comes Los Dos looking to hit. Adrian Vera has got some width on the right-hand side. This is Don Chilao, the rookie. Flag is down, and Chilao, he's a bag of tricks, that's for sure. Puts it on that left foot, looking across and over, hits it for Kai Koreniuk. Be interesting to see how the Galaxy approach those wide positions tonight. They certainly got speed in abundance with Chilau and some craft with Koreniuk, the Dutch-American. Here's a die. We'll send it back to Steidehar. Legendre now, putting his keeper under a bit of pressure. Slightly awkward for the rookie. Remember, just his second professional appearance tonight. Good work from Altamirano, playing it on the left-hand side for Legendre.
Justin Fittis has to be careful of his side, as you got Akil Barrett ready to streak down that right wing. It's important that he's aware of Barrett at all times, as Fittis.
We'll see how the Panamanians form that double pivot in the center of the park for LA with Carlos, Harvey, and Ernesto Walker at the anchor, as it will come out now for an LA Galaxy 2 free kick. Still no goals between these two. Pivotal moment. The Galaxy, of course, want to replicate the form of the senior team, which has been off and running with 3 consecutive wins and a triumph last night over the Vancouver Whitecaps in British Columbia. A victory, Troy, would take Los Dos up to 9 points, and potentially, if all the cards fell and the chips fell in their favor, possibly up to 2nd place from 9th.
Still very early in the USL Championship, but they're looking to buck that trend tonight with starting the season with a loss, a win, a loss, a win. Hopefully they can stack 2 W's on top of each other tonight.
Long surging ball, asking a bit too much of Akil Barrett, the Jamaican, operating on the right-hand side of that Tulsa Roughneck midfield. Well, it's a mistake made in the back this time by Malin Roberts. It opens the door, and LA only too happy to oblige. Nice little piece of skill. And down he goes, referee pointing to the spot. No doubt about it.
Yeah, wasn't much to it. He just gave him a little shoulder fake, cut back to the left, and sure enough, defender stuck out his foot, took him down. A pretty simple call, I think, for the referee. Yeah, Barrett just coming in from behind, really no knee. There's 2 defenders in front of Zubak. Really not much of a threat in that position. Nonetheless, Galaxy 2 have a chance to take an early lead.
So Zubak earned it in a true form. Like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he wants to take it as well. So Zubak lining this one up, still looking for his first goal of the season. Going 1v1 against Steidehar. A telling moment this, 13 minutes in. Zubak will step up, and Ethan Zubak will hit it. The LA Galaxy open up their goal-scoring account tonight from the penalty spot, 1-0 over Tulsa.
And a lot similar to what happened last week against Timbers 2. Zubak stepped up to the spot, but he missed. He hit the post and he missed. Shortly thereafter, T2 came down and scored. Not the case this evening. Zubak goes the other way than he did last week, and the ball hits the back of the net. A nice 1-0 lead, 13 minutes in.
And that will really restore his confidence. And I know he was really embarrassed about hitting that post, and he has righted the ship. And the Galaxy, after a couple of early flutters, right on top in the position that they wanted to be in, looking for back-to-back wins for the first time in this 2019 USL Championship season.
And that's tough for Steidehar. There's not much of a sample size to go off of, so he guessed the exact way where Zubak went last week. Zubak coolly goes the other way, just a really quality finish.
Keeping his composure well. True test of a striker as Fittis makes that run forward. He's got speed to burn. Well done from Justin Fittis, who gets all the way to the end line, pulls it back. And that will be off of a dive for Los Dos throw-in, and you can see their confidence just oozing right now. You know how important pace is in those wide areas. It's something that Los Dos are looking to utilize this season. As Fittis shining bright here, and his cross held in the end by Steidehar.
This isn't uncharted territories for the Roughnecks, as Tulsa fans know. They go down early in a lot of their matches, but yet with their goal-scoring prowess find a way back in these matches. So still much to do for the Galaxy too.
Far from being out of the woods, as we were just a quarter of an hour in. Touch there from De Costa. There's their top goal scorer, Luca Lobo, playing at right fullback. Signed from Botafogo. The entire starting 11, new faces in Tulsa, total overhaul. Of course, qualifying for the postseason the last time in 2017, the only time that they qualified for the USL postseason in their 4 years of existence since 2015. Lobo done well to control it. Steadying presence in midfield. And a nice piece of skill back there. Michael Gallagher from Sammamish, Washington. And a traditional old-fashioned center back.
And it has to be nice for the two UW kids to be playing alongside each other. That has to give each of them some confidence.
It helps when you got one of the best former collegiate defenders as well, and Tomas Iliad-Arce with some MLS experience as well. Here's De Costa going to work on Kai Karenia, going to throw down for Tulsa. Well, defense has been the Achilles heel. Despite the pedigree, they really haven't put it together. Well, Stolz, of course, aiming for their second clean sheet of the season after recording their first a few weeks ago away to Tacoma Defiance on the road, 3-0.
And Tulsa's only shutout of the season also came against Tacoma, but that was in Tulsa.
Of course, Tacoma renamed, rebranded after sharing the Seattle Sounders moniker last few seasons in USL. Seattle Sounders 2, now Tacoma Defiance. And Schultz will clear on LA's behalf, and Zubak will have to check back to stay onside. Pressure for Steidehar, who did well. They'll leave it wide. Legendre will send it forward, trying to work some width down that left-hand side. Heavy on the touch, and the Galaxy first to it. They've shown great commitment tonight and dominated possession.
You mentioned the turnover for Tulsa, but yet the consistency in the lineup has been steady, and that's part of the reason for their success this year.
Let's talk about that familiarity you and I were referring to a moment ago. It's nice to have that familiarity, that knowledge and experience playing together, knowing the tendencies of your players, where they're going to run, which balls they're going to play. I'll touch it back for Cyprian Hedrick, the Cameroonian. Part of that African tandem at the heart of that Tulsa defense, alongside Malin Roberts, the man born in Sierra Leone who plays internationally, already with the cap for the Canadian senior team. Here's Anthony Legendre, trying to play it up that left-hand side. They want to be methodical this. Galaxy holding their shape well. We were talking about it here, Troy, being a 4-2-3-1. Looks as though it might be a 4-1-4-1, as you've got Harvey in that holding role. And the Galaxy will commit the foul, quickly taking free kick.
And we saw Mike Munoz go from a 4-4-2 to a 4-1-4-1 last week, so no surprise, really. He's hoping that extra person in front of the back four can help break up those players checking in between the channels.
And here he is right on cue, the other Panamanian, Walker, and it's onside now. And here comes Ethan Zubak racing down the left and cutting in. It's Zubak going for goal and didn't get enough power to beat Steidehar. It's a wonderful ball out of the back from Walker to start that move. Get a good look at Mason Steidehar, the 21-year-old we mentioned, Troy mentioned, as he's fought his way back from cancer. Beaten once by Zubak from the spot. Not a second time, however. Schultz now. Chilao. Walker. Big, strong presence there, and Adai does well to win it back on Tulsa's behalf. Legendre trying to work it up that left-hand side. As Altamirano will drop into a deeper role. And here is De Costa, a very intelligent ball now. And what can Tulsa conjure up? As they'll look for the big switch. And it's Barrett making himself available. Not the best of first touches, though, from the Jamaican winger.
And a nice switch by Altamirano. You'll see that a lot from Tulsa tonight. They like to switch the point of attack with a long diagonal ball.
Cleared away by Fittis. Touch towards the center for Fabian Bastidas. Under that double pivot. Two in central midfield alongside Adai, who can drop deeper. He's more the traditional number 6. This one is going to go against Tulsa. Tough beginning there for Akil Barrett. Get a good look at the referee tonight. Mark Allerton, Eduardo Jeff, and Salma Perez working the sidelines today, and the fourth official is Reina Fonseca. Zubak deterred nicely by Hedrick. He came in with a real strong challenge. Here's Vera, a lovely touch to that right-hand side, and Chilao drops back to keep possession. We'll see this from Zubak. He likes to drop into those deeper roles, Troy, at times.
Yeah, especially when he's not getting that service from wide areas. He likes to check in and try and find the game himself. Already a goal to his name. You can bet he has some confidence.
Good run here from Fittis, picked out by Corenia. Flag is down for Justin Fittis, who does everything right, lays it off on the drawback, and unfortunately Vera couldn't steer it towards goal. Did really well there, Fittis, and he's shined brightly, and we have a full-blooded challenge. It's going to go against the other former Washington Husky, Michael Gallagher, for that challenge. Gallagher, of course, collecting his first yellow card of the season. And wearing the captain's armband tonight. That's saying a lot.
Hopefully he can put in the performance like Jeffrey Anchimpong did last week, wearing the captain's armband with a goal. Let's just hope he can keep the ball out of the G2
Here's
net.
Chilao, and the keeper is out. Open net. Steidehart off his line. It was a near calamity, but he'll be buying Cyprian Hedrick dinner for a week after that goal line clearance.
Cyprian Hedrick, so steady, played every minute so far this season for Tulsa.
That could have been massively embarrassing for the youngster Steidehart. Remember, he's making his away professional debut. Coming off back-to-back home wins. En route to that top spot in the Western Conference. It'll be a throw now for Don Chilao and Los Dos.
Yeah, they were victorious last week against RGV by a score of 2-1, and then before that they beat Tacoma 4-0, like we mentioned. Rodrigo De Costa and Fabian Bastidas were the 2 goal scorers last week for Tulsa.
Second corner coming up now for Adrian Vera and LA Galaxy 2. Team, of course, that's missed out on the playoffs the last 2 seasons, but don't read into the results too much. It's a team that's really served as a good spawning ground for MLS talent. Players called up on several occasions. You've seen it with Tomas Hilliard Arce. You saw it last night with Didi Traore making his MLS debut. Traore, of course, one of these star performers last year for Los Dos, and featuring this term as well.
And led the team with 5 assists last year, did Traore.
Such a great story about him winning his spot with an open tryout, paying his own way from France. This long searching ball, and it's going to be a foul here. Called back. Fittis really took a tough hit there from Bastidas. already seen one booking for Los Dos, and we'll see one booking for Tulsa, and it's going to be Fabian Bastidas, the 25-year-old. So Bastidas will collect his 3rd yellow card in the space of 6 games. And I can say he came in full-blooded is an understatement there. It was Fiddes who took the brunt of it. We're midway through the first half. Happy to have you along tonight on ESPN Plus. A great night for soccer here in Southern California. We are at Carson at Dignity Health Sports Park. Christian Miles alongside Troy Bharti. A lone goal scored from the penalty spot by Ethan Zubak on the 13th minute, and just over the head of the aforementioned LA Galaxy striker. Zubak earning the penalty himself. One of those players coming up through that Los Dos system. He's one of those players that's already made an MLS appearance this season, making his Major League Soccer debut in that loss on March 9th at FC Dallas. And it's an interesting direction the club is taking. Guillermo Barros Escaloto, a believer in youth. Not shy about calling those players up. He's already played Efrain Alvarez.
And it has to give everyone on G2 confidence, knowing a few good performances in a row, and they too might get the call.
You got to dangle that carrot. Julian Araujo, another one as well, who's played a few minutes at right back so far for Guillermo Barros Escaloto. There is a pipeline that's developing. Arce hitting that one in and kept in nicely by Chilao, supported by Schultz. Here's the former Stanford man, Hilliard Arce. Header, one of those 2 headers last week, coming in the 90th minute, is the match winner. What a time to rise. Fiddes applying his attacking wares, a little misguided in the end, but he's put pressure on this left-hand side.
And looking back at last week, I don't think enough can be said about the service from Cuello all evening long. I mean, he was just putting balls on a platter. And to Tomas Hilliard Arce, twice he was the recipient of some beautiful Cuello crossing.
And one from the corner. First one coming from the corner, and then the match winner coming from Cuello himself in the run. Cuello already featuring as well in match day 1 in that win over Chicago in Major League Soccer. The Galaxy were short-handed at the senior team level. Nice to have that depth. Chilao. Vera. Good 1-2 between those two. Chilao's been impressive, plays it early and too far in front of Zubak, and smart clearance that time from Luca Lobo as he had Koreniuk on his back.
And I don't think he knew he had Koreniuk on his back. So a good heads-up play by Lobo, just getting rid of it.
Harvey. Good support from Gallagher. Hilliard Arce will send it back to Justin Vom Steeg. Adroit with his feet. Of course, learned that, I'm sure, working with his father, who's the head coach at UCSB and has been for many years. Not the best of balls that time from Ernesto Walker, conceding possession back. And what can Tulsa do with it? De Costa now. Trying to thread it through. It's still De Costa, and it's Rodrigo De Costa who did everything right, but the end product he got all wrong. Nice move from the Roughnecks, but it didn't quite have the ending that they were looking for.
It even settled pretty nicely on De Costa's favorite left foot. Don't want to give that guy too many chances from that area, because you can count on next shot or two being on frame.
He's already found the back of the net, but he is the creative inspiration operating in the center for this Roughnecks setup. Got Silva up there as the lone striker, but he's been starved for service early on. Not too many touches for the Portuguese striker. Perhaps this will change. Here's Da Costa again, distributing wide. Altamirano going to work on Nate Schultz. Nice little pause in play. It flicks down. The appeal for the penalty to no avail, and the referee has pointed to it. Delayed call. And he's pointed to the spot. And it was Bastidas who was going for the header, and play allowed to resume. A real strange call, but we'll take a look at it here, Troy.
And initial thought looked like a tackle in the back, but the referee allowed play to continue. So I'm not sure what eventually made him pull it back, whether it was AR or not. Nonetheless, Tulsa here looking to equalize in the 30th minute.
Just so you know, there's no VAR at the USL Championship level. Nonetheless, hard to argue against that penalty as Fittis brings down Fabian Bastidas. And now a chance for Tulsa. And Altamirano from the spot against Baumsteig. Altamirano skies it and blows a golden opportunity to equalize for the Roughnecks.
Very interesting that it was Altamirano who wound up taking the penalty, considering Rodrigo De Costa took the team's penalty last week and converted. So nonetheless, Los Dos will take it.
Talk about a huge break here. I just tried to side foot it. And got too far underneath it, leaning back, and not exactly exemplary technique from the Honduran Altamirano. And a big break for Los Angeles. Bastidas, no doubt about the penalty though. Can't really argue against it. And see Bastidas really roughed up that time by Fittis.
And it comes down to position. Defender just needs to be in front of his man in that situation.
Just came up over the back of Fabian Bastidas. So it'll be a throw-in now for LA, trying to capitalize as we go past the half-hour mark. Got the wind in their sails. Oh, and another challenge that time, and the referee straight to the card. It's tough to see who it was from that vantage point. I believe it was Adrian Vera who came in rashly that time on De Costa, and now tempers flaring. Vera down in pain along with De Costa. This one's starting to heat up, and the referee's got to be careful here. Doesn't want to lose control as he calls for the medical team to come out.
We saw some heavy challenges last week, and it's continued here this evening. It looks like De Costa may have got the worst end of that tackle.
Yeah, it was Andrea Vera just came in behind. I'll have to take another look at it.
Not much you can say right there. With a left foot, just rakes De Costa across the ankle. That cannot feel good.
No hesitation from the referee. Went straight for the cards. More concerned right now for De Costa for his own well-being, but also he's the playmaker and the attacking influencer for this Tulsa team. They can ill afford to lose his prolific services at this point, especially trailing and on the road in a place that this team has never won.
You know, it was just a couple of weeks ago, Tulsa found themselves down 2 goals in Orange County and came back and won the game 5-3. So still time, not uncharted waters here for Tulsa, but again, getting your playmaker hurt on his, it looks like his favorite left foot, isn't ideal.
Yellow card booked. It goes against Adrian Vera, who joins Michael Gallagher in the referee's books for Los Angeles. And play resumes. Might expect a hefty chunk considering the 2 penalties, as well as the heavy challenges to be added on towards the end of the first half. Hedrick now for the Tulsa Roughnecks. Looking to make it 3 in a row. Barrett dwelling on it, and Fittis has been up for the fight tonight, that's for sure. A real bright performer. A die. This is Malin Roberts, the Canadian, at the heart of that defense for the Roughnecks. A die. It's a real international setup for Tulsa. Their new Nigerian head coach, Michael Ensian. Part of that club's overhaul during the offseason. And once again, they like those diagonal balls you were talking about, but that one asking a bit too much of Akil Barrett.
And those diehard Galaxy fans, maybe the Galaxians would remember in 2005, it was Michael Ensian who was selected by the Galaxy as a reserve player. Not very many people probably know that one.
Didn't feature too much as I remember, but he did play a role and at one time called it home. Two former Galaxy men on the Tulsa sideline tonight, along with Donovan Ricketts. Hedrick now for the Roughnecks. The Galaxy content to absorb a lot of this pressure. 10 minutes to go until halftime. Trying to maintain their discipline and keep their shape. Now comes LA out of their shell slightly. Is Zubac pressuring Steinehar. Tough ball for Hedrick that time. It skips right past the left back, Legendre, and it may work out now for Altamirano. It has some pace and blows right by Carlos Harvey. Trying to set it up on that right-hand side, but it's well tended to by Tomas Hilliard Arce, who did a great job of covering for Nate Schultz. Hedrick trying to pick out De Costa. Silva onto it, and that's going to be against Bastidas. He's been not shy about getting in the mix of things, has he?
And I think
he's got to tread lightly here, Troy.
Sorry, Christian. I think Janu Silva's a little confused how that foul was on him. However, G2 retain possession.
Well, you see the referee saying, hey, Fabian, time to cool your jets just a bit. Patient approach. You'd like to see that kind of match management from the referee.
He's pulled a couple yells. He's called a couple penalties. It's been a busy first half here for our center referee, Mark Allerton.
Trying to work it for Zubac. Legendre there now for Tulsa as it goes back to Steinehar. Fittis rises underneath it. Good strong right foot that time from Ernesto Walker to control, but he can't keep it. Possession all too short-lived. This is Fabian Bastidas, who I just believe nutmegged the referee.
He did, in fact.
You don't see that every day.
And actually, it was a pretty nice dummy by the referee, to be fair.
Right through the 5-hole. De Costa. And will their patience be rewarded with an equalizer? They're plotting methodically, that's for sure. New team with a fresh outlook and a brand new head coach. Look at it last year, it's really a sharp contrast. This is a team that conceded 77 goals, Troy. In Tulsa, only 2 clean sheets. Only Atlanta had fewer clean sheets in 2018. Trying to do a total 360.
And Donovan Ricketts mentioned that to me before the game, talking about how this year the focus is all 11 are defending, and you've seen it throughout their first 5 games. You'll see the midfielders and even the forwards track all the way back and help out. A really committed defensive effort from Tulsa early on this season.
Barrett supported by Jeff Adai. Space to operate for the Canadian, who switches it wide on the left for Legendre. Haven't had too much joy down that left-hand side. The Galaxy have locked things up pretty well. A little devoid of ideas at this point, despite the long spells of possession. As Roberts locates Bastidas, this is Barrett. Into the corner. And Barrett just trying to work his way past Fittis. The Galaxy and Lostos looking exceptionally strong in the wide areas.
And we mentioned it earlier, it's nice to have those back four together again. You know, playing alongside each other, understanding each other. It's very important. Even though Justin Vomsteeg enters the net, Eric Lopez, it was last week, still a lot of continuity within that back line.
Gondry does well to keep it in on Tulsa's behalf. Not looking frustrated, however. They've kept their shape, the Roughnecks, but they lose possession this time. Well won back. This is Don Chilao now for Los Dos. He's done really well. Chilao shows a bit too much of it in the end, and allowing Hedrick to come back and concede the corner and put out that fire, so to speak. And it will be corner number 3 for Los Angeles. You know, just as we were talking about those wide areas, Don Chilao right on cue.
Turning on the afterburners. Nice emergency defending by Hedrick.
Born in Benin, raised in Chandler, Arizona, and selected with the 36th pick in this year's MLS Super Draft from Oregon State is Don Chilao. Vera, off that left foot, and headed away by Rodrigo De Costa. It drops for Kareniak, who's been pretty quiet tonight. And no nonsense clearance, that's for sure, from the strong presence of Carlos Harvey, the Panamanian teenager. Harvey already making his senior team international debut against the United States back in January. The die rises. They need some semblance of something productive. They haven't had any end product as of yet, Tulsa. But they do have a throw in here. 5 minutes to go until halftime. Zubak will drop into his own half. It's well won, however, by Adai, who did really well. Roberts supporting Cyprian Hedrick. Hedrick, of course, and Roberts playing every minute of this USL season so far through these 5.5 games. Roberts signed from the Richmond Kickers. They're spending a couple of seasons there. Not a lower division experience in the UPSL, but this is Barrett. Bastidas slips his way around Walker. Legendre. Plenty of room to work now. Altamirano really fancies himself in those 1v1 situations, but good sliding from the Galaxy. They got all 11 behind it right now. Trying to push it in, easily dealt with by Tomas Hilliard Arce and claimed by Carlos Harvey.
And as Luca Lobo likes to push up on that right-hand side, leaving all kinds of space. Something to look out for maybe in the second half is down that left-hand side for G2.
It does explain his goal-scoring tally. He's not shy about getting involved. As I mentioned, coming into today, tied for the top mark in USL, along with Sacramento Republic's Cameron Iwasa with 5 goals. And Kareniak heavy on the touch. Just 3 wins last year for Tulsa, finishing in dead last place. So it's not much better. 16 points off the playoffs as they missed out, like Tulsa, for a second consecutive season. And from the appearances early on, be hard-pressed to see these two not make it to the USL postseason.
Some fancy footwork from Ernesto Walker, getting himself out of trouble, draws the foul. Nice piece of skill on this near side touchline.
Walker on loan from Plaza Amador in Panama. In that same game as Harvey made his senior team international debut as well back in January against the U.S. men's national team. Here's De Costa trying to link up with Barrett. Didn't quite come off as they imagined, so final minute here plus added on time. Harvey. Oh, good switch for Schultz, who's got acres of space in front of him. Don Chilao. Twisting and turning his Chilao. Great delivery. A nice piece of industry from the Galaxy winger. And Tulsa a little apprehensive back there defensively, but finally clear their lines. And they may have one in the offing here. Altamirano. And Silva will check back to stay on side. It's a good ball for Barrett, who's got space to operate. Puts it back on that left, fires, and that one blocked. Chased down by Silva and sent over the byline by Nate Schultz. It will be a corner kick for the visitors. LA scrambling defensively.
And the majority of Tulsa's goals scored this season have come off corners or wide free kicks. So obviously,
it almost begs the cliche, set pieces change games.
Well,
and it's true.
It is, certainly.
So 3 minutes, confirmation of the added on time, and a chance for the Galaxy to break. And it's a 2v4 for Ethan Zubak. Closed down by Adai, who did really well for Tulsa. A true number 6, if there ever was one. Interesting story about Adai, signed this year from Mannheim, playing in the German Amateur League. Spent some time, of course, with the Ottawa Fury as well. Controlled out of the back by Gallagher. Koreniuk, who's dropped into a central role. And a nice piece of skill from Vera in the center of the park for Los Dulce. Big, strong presence of Walker. He's full of purpose. Schultz now joining in. There's something in the offing now for Los Angeles, who love to close the first half with a second goal. And an awkward cross, but an even more awkward clearance and an unforced error you'd have to characterize that one as they concede an unnecessary corner kick, number 4 for LA.
Yeah, it looks like the ball jumped up a little bit on Hedrick as he concedes the corner, and very dangerous opportunity if you're a Tulsa defender right now. Right before the half, this could be a big moment in this match.
Adrian Vera had 3 assists in 2018. He's yet to find the supply line this year. Perhaps this is his time. There is high delivery. Zubak gets underneath it. Gallagher overpowers the defender. It was Lobo who he brought down. It'll be a free kick for the Roughnecks. No doubt about that one. It's had a physical element. Call it robust, call it what you like. Good flick on from Silva. The Route 1 approach nearly paid off. As he had the support of De Costa, making that streaking run was Bastidas. Halftime can't come too soon right now for LA. And there it is, right on cue. 45 minutes in the books. Some scary moments back there. Ethan Zubak taking advantage from the penalty spots, and there was a trip to the spot as well for the Tulsa Roughnecks here, Troy, but they couldn't capitalize. They'll look for something more going forward coming up in the second half, I would imagine.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, a team that's leading the league with 13 goals, granted they have a game in hand on everybody. Nonetheless, they score goals. Galaxy 2 going to the half, not conceding. Something Mike Munoz is going to be very happy about. Something along the lines of so far, so good for LA. It's halftime here at Dignity Health Sports Park Track and Field Stadium. LA Galaxy 2-1, the Tulsa Roughnecks 0.
space, action pump, a wonder goal. That's how you do it.
Good job here for the Galaxy. Here's Munoz forwarding. You find Rolf Felcher. He's got a chance at goal. Fire! Scores! Chris Pontius. Moves it over to the right side. Here's Antuna. Watched by one defender. Antuna taking him toward the end line. Gets the cross away. Right in front. Score! Sebastian Legend. 3-1 Galaxy.
We respect the past.
and chase the future.
Maybe you just haven't discovered us yet. But here's a news flash.
We've been great.
We're just getting started.
This is LA.
With our favorite LA mascot, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's Cosmo tonight. Cosmo, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. One more time, make some noise for Cosmo! All right. Now, fans, let's meet our finalists tonight.
And welcome back. LA Galaxy 2 up 1-0 over visiting Tulsa Roughnecks FC. Happy to have you on, Christian Miles, alongside Troy Bharti. Pretty good first half here for LA, Troy.
A very good first half. I think the back line did a tremendous job containing Tulsa's attack. Really wasn't much from wide areas. There wasn't many fouls around the box. They only conceded a couple corners. All in all, a very nice half by G2.
Now the goal coming on the 13th minute, Ethan Zubak rewarded for his endeavor as he was brought down inside the box and stepped up to hit it, and that really atoned for his miss last week when he hit the post. It's got to do wonders for his confidence right now.
Yeah, it's got to be nice, you know, stepping up to the spot, knowing you missed the week prior, but then being able to convert, going the opposite way, showing composure, sending the goalkeeper the wrong direction, which is a sign of a good penalty. Much needed first goal for G2.
All right, so Galaxy in front, 1-0. Stick around, there's more coming up. We'll have a look at standings and some other scores right after this.
Space, action pump, a wonder goal. That's how you do it.
Good job here for the Galaxy. Here's Munoz forwarding. You find Rolf Felcher. He's got a chance at goal. Fire! Scores! Chris Pontius. Moves it over to the right side. Here's Antuna. Watched by one defender. Antuna taking him toward the end line. Gets the cross away. Right in front. Score! Sebastian Legend. 3-1 Galaxy.
We respect the past.
And chase the future.
Maybe you just haven't discovered us yet. But here's a news flash.
We've been great.
We're just getting started.
This is LA.
If there's one thing with USL Championship clubs, it's that they have a way to make the experience unique to their clubs. I'm on site here at BBVA Compass Field in Birmingham to talk a little bit about this iron factory they have on site. I'm joined by Marshall, the director of metal arts at Sloss Furnaces. So, Marshall, first off, tell us what an ingot is.
Okay, so an ingot is basically just a unit of iron.
Okay.
So it's just a way to make the iron portable and mobile and in a manner that can be sold.
Okay.
So the process that we're going to be doing in-game is a little bit different than the casting process. This is a forge setup. So typically used for blacksmithing. You're typically not trying to completely melt what you're working with. You're just raising the temperature enough that it can be malleable.
Okay.
So what we're going to be doing throughout the game is taking one of these in our forge and getting it up to temperature red hot and having that on standby so that when we score a goal, we'll take it out of the forge, over to the ingot, and we have a special die with a spark on it off of the Legion logo.
Right.
And that'll be placed on it and struck with a hammer. It's a two-man operation. When we're ready, the assistant will take that. They'll take the die and put it in place, and then the other person will strike it with a hammer. So each goal that's scored will get a mark, hopefully a lot of them.
Yeah.
And so we have one for each game.
Okay.
So to have the team that they're playing, and so throughout the season, throughout the years, we'll begin to accumulate these and create an iron wall back here with each ingot from the games.
That's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
How cool is that for people to come in too and kind of see this little, you know, characteristic of Birmingham?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hammer down! You know they can tell how hot the steel is by the color.
Got it.
Burning up, red hot.
And we welcome you back to Carson. A quick check of the standings coming into today, and there you see the Tulsa Roughnecks looking very good, actually finding themselves on the top with 10 points. Just behind them, of course, New Mexico United as well as the Portland Timbers too. LA trying to make some headway themselves on 7 points through 4 games. That could all change, however. Real Monarchs SLC in the top 5. And then you see the rest of the West. Sacramento, as well as OKC Energy and the Tacoma Defiance and Fresno rounding out the top 10. Remember, 18 teams in the West, but as of right now, the Galaxy trying to make up some ground on this Tulsa team. And coming in today, actually on 6 points here, Troy, so they can cut themselves to within 1 and really send a message to Tulsa as they get set for the summer run-in.
Well, I think most importantly for Galaxy, too, they're just hoping to continue this confidence and try and put together 2 wins, which is something they've yet to do this season.
Let's take a look at some of the scores. What jumps out at you here is we got Ottawa with 3 points, as well as Real Monarchs SLC in Salt Lake City over Reno.
I was trying to monitor all the games as much as I could today. There was, you know, a couple 90th minute winners. T2 scored in the 90th minute, as did Bethlehem, to get to 2 victories. But just a fun day. Every Saturday in USL Championship is a must-watch.
Yeah, trying to keep up with 11 games on a Saturday is not an easy task. Halftime, of course, a little bit south of us, Orange County SC against the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Still no goals there, but a big win for Portland Timbers, too, as they bounce back after that defeat against Los Dos with a 3-2 win at OKC Energy. Well, a lot of storylines taking place, of course, and part of the storylines coming into this year is the Tulsa Roughnecks taking everybody by storm, but looking at it from a Los Dos standpoint, Ernesto Walker is back in the lineup. They've been missing him. Don Chilao will fill in for the co-leading goal scorer tonight. Jeffrey Achimpong And Mike Munoz, we know, a tough task for his defense against this top-rated attack coming into tonight. But they've done pretty well so far.
They've done very well, obviously. No goals yet for Tulsa, so defense is getting an A+ as of right now. Still 45 minutes to go, Christian.
Well, we'll see what happens here. The Galaxy find themselves sitting out on top thanks to an Ethan Zubak goal. 1-0, stick around, there's plenty more coming up. The second half from Carson, LA and Tulsa, straight ahead.
Space, Achapong, a wonder goal. That's how you do it.
Here's Antuna. Watched by one defender. Antuna taking it toward the end line. Gets the cross away. Right in front. Score! Sebastian Legend! 3-1 Galaxy!
We are live at Dignity Health Sports Park, the track and field stadium. The scene tonight for USL Championship Soccer in a Western Conference affair. LA up a 0-0 over the visiting Tulsa Roughnecks, and we will see a double switch right now for Tulsa. We're looking for a little more creative inspiration going forward. So, looks as though we'll see the likes of AJ Ajekwa come in.
Very good. I mean, Tulsa's searching for answers right now. They really haven't created much off the run of play. So AJ Ajekwa coming off the bench, looking to add a little spark, I'm sure, for Coach Etienne and Tulsa.
So Barrett off. So Bastidas with his yellow card will exit the affair. And Manny Gonzalez will check in. So a double switch, a bold move from head coach Michael Etienne, but something had to change here, Troy, as we get set for the start of the second half.
And Akil Bear coming off, and I think even if you were to ask him, that was probably 45 minutes he'd like to forget. So really no surprise there. It'll be interesting to see if G2, what adjustments they make, if any, right now in this next 45.
And it's the same 11 for Mike Munoz that took the field at the start. He's had a little bit of everything in this one. Hasn't been a breakneck paced game, known for its tempo and free-flowing soccer, that's for sure. But it's been interesting, and Tulsa, get us underway. Happy to have you along tonight for USL Championship Soccer here on ESPN+. Kai Koreniuk winning possession back on LA's behalf, and that is a department which I'm sure they're pretty happy with in the first half, as they had it in long spells.
Yep, possession clearly in Los Dos' favor.
So Manny Gonzalez will check into midfield. Both of those changes coming in midfield. Let's see how Ajekwa will acquit himself as he is introduced. Searching ball called in. Bumsteeg called into action, but he had it on the line all the way. Really hasn't been called upon to do much. And meanwhile, back the other way we go as Zubak flag is down. Ethan Zubak with the hesitation leaves it up and belted in. A great hit this time from the LA Galaxy and Kai Koreniuk, who strike with lightning precision to start off the second half. It's LA 2, Tulsa 0.
And credit to Ethan Zubak. Could have easily took the shot himself. He lays it off for his teammate. much easier finish than what Zubak would have had. Koreniuk makes no doubt about it. A simple finish and just a beautiful, unselfish pass there by Ethan Zubak.
Wonderful skill and patience, and you see the growth of Ethan Zubak, who had the composure to hold up play and set it up beautifully for Kai Koreniuk, who grabs his first goal in USL. Part of the Dutch youth setup along with the American youth setup, as he's made his way over to the US side of things after some time in the Netherlands with AZ Alkmaar. And that'll do wonders for his confidence, but wonderful setup play from Ethan Zubak, and the direct approach paying off for Los Dos. I remember looking for their 5th win in 9 encounters against Tulsa. Having won here last year by a 0-0, but it was Tulsa who doubled up on the Galaxy in June, just a matter of weeks later. We'll see how those substitutions will affect the tactical setup tonight for Michael Encian. We saw Barrett taking up a spot on that right-hand side. Altamirano still shoring things up on the left. Well won back, and here come Los Dos, hungry for more. Got a real strong presence in the center of midfield with Walker and Harvey in there. Muscular to say the least. So the touch now for Manny Gonzalez, the Colombian. Koreniuk with some high pressure. Zubak wins it back, and it's Zubak saved. And it's Koreniuk who doubles up 2 goals in 2 minutes. Los Dos flying here at Carson. 3-0.
And a finish a lot like the first, really just a simple left-footed tap in past the goalkeeper. A heads-up play, right place, right time for Kai Koreniuk.
Kai Koreniuk, the benefactor of a spilled save by Steidehar, who denied Zubak. Talk about being at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, as Steidehar, you maybe like to see that parry it a little wider or even out for a corner to prevent such an opportunity like that one. But, you know, don't take anything away from Kai there. Just like you said, right place, right time, and a cool, casual finish.
An opportunist finish, and he took his chance, and he took it well. And suddenly the Galaxy on cruise control. Still a lot of soccer left here at Carson. You couldn't have asked for a brighter beginning to half number 2. Remember, no changes from Mike Munoz. Silva trying to get more involved and trying to get their strikers some more service and touches. I'm sure was job number 1 during the team talk at halftime. Let's see if it will translate into anything on the field. Legendre with the throw. Here's Gonzalez, the halftime sub.
Well, whatever Mike Munoz told his boys at halftime, I think he's going to tell them that at every halftime.
Now Zadayu goes down.
And 2 goals within the first 5 minutes. I think if you're Coach NCN, you're maybe even questioning yourself with the 2 substitutions, as Galaxy 2 come out here flying in the second half.
That was a robust challenge. I talked about the muscular presence. You see it front and forth right there from Carlos Harvey, who just clatters into a die. So we'll see how Altamirano could create something here, and it's got to be better than that. Just not good enough as it goes clearly high. A team that's really made their bread and butter this season out of set pieces. Couldn't quite capitalize that time.
From that distance, you're almost surprised they're not chipping something to the back post and looking to get ahead on it, because you're right, the majority of their goals this season have come off situations like that.
So no test once again for Justin Baumsteeg. Helped on, and underneath it is Ernesto Walker. He's really found a nice partnership with his countrymen. Those 2 playing together at the Panama under-20 level as well. Known each other since they were kids, and just vital to have that understanding in the center of the park.
And it's nice to come to a new country, a new team, a new environment with one of your friends. It's a much easier transition.
Here's Altamirano. He's a talisman when necessary. Vera, though, dropping deep. And Los Angeles able to win it once again. Walker trying to link up with Zubak. Adai has found space between the lines. And he's supported by De Costa. Just run out of ideas once again. Had some good movement, and Jaquan just giving it away, and they've had some great build-up play. They've had some good passing sequences. Just haven't had that cutting edge and incision in the final third.
And credit to Carlos, Harvey, Ernesto Walker, and the back four, because those 6 defending have had Tulsa completely out of their game tonight.
A little bamboozled. Here's Walker. Vera. Now Schultz joining in. See this team growing in confidence. It's night and day from the team that was absolutely battered by Colorado Springs switchbacks at the beginning of March, 4 goals to 1.
Even from a couple of weeks ago against Real Monarchs, I mean, this team looking, you know, tight. They're looking organized. They're finishing their chances. They're doing everything right on this evening.
Koreniuk, crafty stuff. It's Kai Koreniuk seeking out the hat trick. Chilao puts it on that left foot. It's Chilao. Not a bad effort.
That's twice now. He's getting onto that left foot and looking for a 20-yard strike. You would think the next one will be on target, as he's had a couple to size it up.
I had a chance to see a lot of Chilao in college. He wasn't a prolific goal scorer, but he was a menace going forward.
Some of that Alan Gordon, Brian Jordan, Oregon State pedigree, right?
Yes, something like that. Come back to the Robbie Finley days as well if you want.
I'm here. Turn.
Chilao. Nice work from the former Oregon State Beavers, sliding it right past Legendre, and a change of pace, but a little too clever for his own good as he just lost track of it in the end, showed too much of it to Cyprian Hedrick. No doubt about his change of pace, his chief attribute, Don Chilao. A whole host of weapons at Mike Munoz's disposal. 2 goals in the first 4 minutes of half number 2, both from Kai Koreniuk. Facilitated, you have to say, by Ethan Zubak, who has played a role somehow or another in all 3. And here's Altamirano, who drops that shoulder well closed down on the right-hand side by Nate Schultz. This is Adai. Some good movement here from Tulsa. Can they get themselves back into this one? Has to be such a big sucker punch to take those goals so early. Much like you say, late in the first half, but these coming early in the second.
Yeah, and at this point, you know, you're Tulsa, you want to try and go catch the game and throw everything forward, but at the same time, you don't want to keep allowing Galaxy 2 to have chances on goal.
The ball flighting, it's claimed now. It's De Costa who fires. It's wide. Once again, just lacking the spit and polish in the final third.
But again, this is a team that has found themselves down throughout the season and have come back to win these types of games. They've never been down 3-0, but 2-0 they have come back from. So, you know, you're not going to score all 3 in 1 goal. So a goal at a time from Tulsa's perspective.
Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship in many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Here's Chilao. Harvey thought about it. Heavy first touch from Fittis, who has his progress impeded by Ajakwa. Well, for the situation being as dire as it is, it's a Tulsa team, to their credit, do not look rattled. There's an air of composure about them. Roberts for Anthony Legendre. Dye will relieve the pressure now with Cyprian Hedrick. Dangerous ball with Zubak pressuring slightly. Heavy touch from Silva. It may work out as De Costa sprays it out wide for Altamirano, the Honduran international. And not a bad piece of skill that time from Altamirano. Dye will leave it for their top goal scorer, Luca Lobo. Not a bad looking cross as well, but underneath it is Michael Gallagher for Los Angeles. And how about Koreniuk tending to the defensive work? Soccer fans join the action on Sunday, April 13th at 7:30 to watch Ibrahimovic, Dos Santos, Leggett, and the rest of the Galaxy as they get set to take on the Philadelphia Union at Dignity Health Sports Park. In celebration of Firefighter Appreciation Night, the first 12,000 fans in attendance will receive a free LA Galaxy t-shirt. Tickets start at just $20. Buy today at lagalaxy.com/tickets. Los Dos content to absorb a lot of this pressure. Hedrick for De Costa. He's done well to earn himself a free kick. Interesting to see what they draw up here, Troy.
And this is where Galaxy 2 have to be aware, and Tulsa right now has to be feeling confident in these situations because, again, we've said it so many times, this is where they score many of their goals. And as you can see, Luca Lobo and Hedrick, some tall boys up there looking to get on the end of this.
So De Costa standing over it in Brazilian. Not a bad looking delivery, straight in, and they get it back right on cue from the set piece. It's the Tulsa Roughnecks FC. And it's a huge goal. Once again, Luca Lobo on company on the scoring end of things. It's LA 3, Tulsa 1.
What more can you say about Luca Lobo? Right back now with 6 goals on the season, all in which have come off set pieces or rebounds off set pieces. The guy right now is everywhere for Tulsa. They're going to need a couple more of those, though, to get back into this one.
Just another look here, and it was Lobo. Got underneath it, not the best of defending. No chance for Valmsteeg. So the 6th goal, as you mentioned, Troy, and De Costa collecting his 4th assist of the season, and that makes things a little interesting, and perhaps a fly in the ointment, so to speak. And they're buoyed by that confidence. Altamirano has it broken up. A slip that time from Walker allows Dye to boss possession. Ajekwa tried to find the link that time with De Costa. He does well to get it back. Ajekwa's cross, rising is Silva, just mistimed his jump, and suddenly a little havoc back there defensively for LA. It opens up for Harvey, who releases Koreniuk, and the flag is down for the Dutchman. Great ball. Zubak, you betcha! Superbly taken, an exquisite team goal, and LA bite right back. 4-1.
Just after conceding, the defense starting to look a little shaky, and boom, just like that, Galaxy 2 score their 4th of the game, and maybe the nail in the coffin right there. Just a beautiful, like you said, Christian, team goal. Wide play from Koreniuk, a beautiful ball right in the stride of Zubak, who finishes it very neatly.
The beauty in the simplicity is LA right back and reestablish that 3-goal pad. How will Tulsa bounce back after that? It's got to be a tough blow to absorb. So it goes beyond Gonzalez. No chance that time for Janu Silva, who's trying Trying to work his way through 3 markers.
And you can probably count the touches Janu Silva has had on one hand this game. Galaxy 2 defense has been doing a tremendous job on him and everyone else.
Now you can get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for LA Galaxy, then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on your team's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Free kick for LA, 63rd minute. Remember, trying to make it back-to-back wins for the first time this season after dispatching of Portland here in Carson last weekend. Schultz. Good first touch from Walker. Well tended to from Hedrick, who had to step. We'll see how Los Dos can manage this one and keep their heads, as there's plenty of time remaining. Hedrick. Wearing the captain's armband tonight for the Roughnecks is Silva, flicking it forward, and that kind of illustrates the problem. Silva up there on an island all by himself, forced to drop deep and trying to facilitate play, but no one to link with.
All of Tulsa's attacking players have been pretty quiet this evening. Altamirano, Bastida, Silva, De Costa's had some nice service, but Galaxy 2 defense just doing a tremendous job.
Yeah, fans, you can follow LA Galaxy 2 and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and much, much more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com for the best in USL Championship soccer. Order restored. Nervous moment back there as Tulsa trying to play their way back into the game. Had a good spell, but LA with the perfect remedy and antidote after that strike from Lobo on the set piece. Zubak on the counter now, and they're looking for more. Vera has the overlap from Schultz, who hits it first time. And Hedrick there defensively for the Roughnecks.
And now that's 2 games in a row Zubak has helped out this Galaxy 2 side. It's been really impressive to see him come back down here, so to speak, and have this type of impact on the team.
You can tell he's grown as a player, as a more mature aspect of his game. But here comes De Costa now, and it's a 2v4 for Tulsa. Schultz backtracking, and the flag is up on the far side, offside against the Roughnecks, who can't seem to catch a break going forward. Silva acquired from Villafranquense, playing his soccer in the Portuguese 3rd division last year. Another one of those new signings. Very cosmopolitan setup in America's heartland.
I asked Donovan Ricketts how it was living in Tulsa after living in LA, and he said, quiet, very quiet.
He's getting a little older now. He likes the quiet life.
He said he loved it, though. And watching him walk the sidelines and hearing the fans still yell out his name just shows you the type of impact in person Donovan had while he was here with the Galaxy.
Yeah, great homecoming for him today. Part of some MLS Cup runs with Los Angeles. Really enjoying the great support in Tulsa for these Roughnecks. They've taken a whole new approach, and up until tonight it's paid massive dividends, but this is kind of the aberration so far. Remember, they came in their first 5 games with just 1 loss. Roberts, costly ball given away. A little careless on the distribution. Vera trying to locate Koreniuk, and good coverage back there from the experienced Luca Lobo. Look the other way, going right back to work is Vera. Has the support from Koreniuk. Looked to be a nice little tidy exchange, but couldn't quite pull it off in the end. Soccer fans, you can join the action coming up on Saturday, April 13th at 7:30 to watch Ibra, Jonah, Sebastian Lletget, and the rest of your LA Galaxy as they take on the Philadelphia Union here in Carson at Dignity Health Sports Park. In celebration of Firefighter Appreciation Night, the first 12,000 fans in attendance will receive a free LA Galaxy t-shirt. Tickets start at just $20. Buy today at lagalaxy.com/tickets.
Nice job by Chilao there, flicking it to himself and showing that speed down the right-hand side, earning his team a throw-in.
Substitution and a third switch tonight for Michael Encian and the Tulsa Roughnecks. So Legendre will come off at left back, and he will be replaced by Brian Reyes, the Honduran midfielder. This is an attacking move from the Tulsa boss. See what Reyes can bring. Signed, of course, from Ocean City. Played his soccer last year in USL League 2. Spending some time in Hungary earlier in his career, so well traveled at all levels of the game. Let's see if it translated to any success. Down goes Chilao. He challenged on that header. Reyes, by the way, making his 4th appearance as a substitute so far this season. Free kick for LA, taken by Hilliard Arce. Hasn't had a lot to do back there for LA.
And that says a lot, doesn't it? As a center back, not having a lot to do means things are going right in the midfield and everything around you.
They look to be more crisp, more disciplined. Good shape to this team. Really saying something against this Tulsa squad that has taken USL Championship by storm. Good feet from Justin Vom Steeg back there in the Los Dos goal. Roberts volleys it forward in a no-nonsense clearance from Carlos Harvey. Michael Allerton seeing something, and Mark Allerton seeing something he didn't like. So a free kick here coming up for the Tulsa Roughnecks. Getting set to pay a visit to Fresno next weekend before returning home against the Switchbacks on the 24th. These two, of course, will meet in Tulsa in late July. Free kick, headed on, and they get one back from the dead ball. Right on cue. Set pieces changing the game for the Tulsa Roughnecks. And once again, Luca Lobo, unstoppable.
I mean, what can you say? 7th goal on the season. That's 3 games now where he's had 2 goals. All 7 of his goals have come off set pieces. You would think, I'm sure Mike Munoz talked to his team before this match and said this is who we have to mark. And so far, they haven't done that tonight. And if there's one negative to take away from this evening so far, it's the man marking of Luca Lobo.
Just got in front of his marker that time. Well taken, expertly taken. The brace for the Brazilian. And a league-leading 7 goals from dead balls, and De Costa and company want more. They are not out of this one by any stretch. And it's going to make the final 20 minutes rather interesting.
And earlier in the first half, we discussed how good Galaxy were doing in terms of giving up fouls around the area. Second half, you've seen them be a little bit more sloppy, a little bit more careless, giving Tulsa opportunities for some wide set pieces that have translated into 2 goals.
Zubac's flick finds Chilao. Decent hold-up play to locate Adrian Vera. Flag is down. The cross just over hit for Zubac. Jacqua, the substitute. De Costa is brought to ground by Carlos Harvey, and it will be a free kick here for Tulsa.
Looks like they could have collided heads there. Hopefully everything's okay, but certainly referee's going to call for help when a head injury is in question.
Yes, indeed, and that appears to be the case. You don't want to speculate on the nature of the injury, but it's Harvey very slow to get up. He challenged with full commitment there. And the substitute was in the works prior to that, so it'll be the end of the night for Don Chilao, who put in a good shift, and he is going to be replaced by the kid born in Mexico City, Jose Hernandez, making his first appearance off the bench as a substitute this season. We'll see how this changes things up for Mike Munoz and his tactical approach.
Even though LA has scored 4 goals with 18+ minutes left in this game, if you're Mike Munoz, you just want to see your team finish strong. Right now they're leaking some set-piece goals, but they still have 20 minutes to really shut it down and get out of here with 3 points.
So what they lose in pace, they gain perhaps in someone a little bit more technical. Those of you college soccer watchers may remember Jose Hernandez from his prolific days at UCLA. Came on and really took the Pac-12 conference by storm, becoming the freshman of the year back in 2015. So he will come on for the final 16.5 minutes. Walker claims Zubak. Really looking the part, but dispossessed by Manny Gonzalez, who did really well. Gonzalez will just sit in that central role and spray it out wide for Ajekwa. The other substitute, Reyes, who came in moments ago for Tulsa, trying to link up with De Costa, who's been the best player tonight, along with Lobo for the Roughnecks. This is Altamirano operating on this left touch line. Stop. Reyes. Long searching diagonal ball underneath it for LA is Schultz, and a no-nonsense clearance by Tomas Hilliard Arce. Pensive moments. They always make it interesting. Die. Altamirano. And just swarming defense work. Swarming, defending that time from the LA Galaxy, able to win it back. Something they've been working on in training. Trying to win that ball back and trying to win it in more advantageous positions higher up on the pitch. Reyes loses track, a die, reverts, and they've gone to 3 at the back here. And Hedrick shifting over to a more right-sided role, forced to gamble and forced to go for it. And it'll come out for a goal kick. Who's up, who's down? Where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL Championship Power Rankings, found only on USLChampionship.com. Second switch of the evening for Los Angeles coming up. And it's going to be Ethan Zubak involved in all 4 of these goals. Technically won't get the assist on the first Koreniuk strike, and the second Koreniuk strike, however, but directly involved in a man-of-the-match performance tonight for the LA striker.
Yeah, that's 2 solid performances in a row now by Ethan, and you know, this match right here will be one he'll remember. Really a dominant performance from the striker.
It's a guy who scored 4 goals against Las Vegas last May, scored a hat trick against St. Louis. This will be right up there with those evenings. On comes Augie Williams, 21-year-old from Sierra Leone. So like for like in that department, he'll take up that role up top, where Zubak was playing as the lone striker. Those of you like those numerical formations, technically a 4-1-4-1. As Hilliard Arce trying to get Los Dos out of some hot water here. Great touch from Altamirano. And on the switch, leaves it. De Costa, Ajiekwa is in, and out comes Bomsteeg, who did well. He doesn't have much to do tonight, Troy, but he was alert on that occasion.
Yeah, nice idea from Tulsa, looking 1-2. Bomsteeg just very quick off his line and read it the whole way.
Rude introduction to the game for Augie Williams. Spent some time with the U.S. Soccer Development Academy. And of course, signing after a few years with Portland Timbers 2. Reyes, nowhere to go. Higher pressure right now from Los Angeles. Ajiekwa. Oh, he's done well here. Eludes the challenge now, and here comes Tulsa, hungry for more, but a tackle from behind, and perhaps prematurely belted towards goal. LA doing just enough in the end, but showing some signs of fragility here, Troy.
Yeah, well, that tends to happen when you have the lead. You let your guard down a little bit, and that's what we've seen here tonight. Thankfully, from Galaxy 2 perspective, they've scored 4 goals, so you're allowed to make some mistakes when you've put that many goals on the board.
That's a great flick from Williams. Racing on is Koreniuk, making life very interesting. And the challenge here will be scrutinized, because had it been a little bit more robust, it could have been the last man rule in effect. As Roberts was the last challenge back there, and could have seen himself sent off rather easily. Hilliard Arce does well to win it. Schultz applying himself to it as well. Hernandez couldn't quite keep it in, and it will be a throw now for Tulsa. Time of the essence, just a little over 10 minutes left in this one. It's Altamirano who plays it forward. Nice little 1-2. Silva supported by Gonzalez. And just a poke in that time from Jose Hernandez in just the 3rd corner of the evening here for the Roughnecks.
And hold your breath if you're Galaxy 2 fans, because this is Tulsa's strength right here.
The delivery. Bomsteeg flaps at it. Altamirano. Second ball up for grabs, and Los Dos defended well in the end. Flag down. Gonzalez, not a bad-looking cross. And flap at it here, and Ajiekwa has come in as well. Another nervous moment back there for LA Galaxy 2.
It's pretty amazing the confidence Tulsa has when they're standing over a dead ball. It almost looks like they feel every time they take a set piece that they're going to score.
That's nearly been the case. Bomsteeg into the Carson Knight. Off the head of Harvey, who's shaken off the after effects of that challenge moments ago to carry on. Gonzalez will give it away, and it'll be popped up here from Walker. Still a card or 2 left to play for Mike Munoz in terms of substitutes. It's all about match management. The clean sheet won't be there. Trying to claim victory, however, as Hernandez walking the tightrope here on that touch line. And that will pull out the keeper, Steidehar. throw one back from Ernesto Walker. And the Galaxy will pay a visit to San Antonio next Saturday before a Wednesday midweek clash on the 24th. They will entertain Rio Grande Valley FC. Another full-blooded challenge, this time on the far side against LA. And it's going to be a yellow card issued to the substitute Reyes, who just came in for that tackle.
Overall, pretty nice job by referee Mark Allerton. This game could have gotten out of control early, but you know what? He reached to his pocket quite a few times tonight, issued some yellows, called some penalties. You know, overall, referee's done a nice job tonight.
LA content to absorb as much time as they can as those precious seconds tick off the clock. Adai can't control, but Vera can. Caught in possession, however. A smart ball played out for Cristian Altamirano. He's the magic man. And Altamirano trying to blow past Nate Schultz, well defended. Adai for Manny Gonzalez with space to operate here. And on the fire is De Costa, but into a sea of white.
Got away with one there.
Altamirano continues to be a menace on this left-hand side. He's grown with this game. Let's get the feeling here, Troy. There's another chapter in this script to be written.
Tulsa certainly feels like there's a third out there for them, and if they get that third, then it's game on. But still, Galaxy bending but not breaking.
As they say in the soccer world, squeaky bum time. Could make life very interesting for Los Dos, who are really on cruise control. 3-0 at 50 minutes in. All credit to Tulsa, haven't gone away, and they've come back to their tried and true, getting both goals on dead balls from, who else, Luca Lobo, and that will go out of play. You can get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for LA Galaxy and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on the Galaxy's next match. You can go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Silva beaten to it by the energetic Tomas Hilliard Arce. This is Lobo. He scored both tonight. Wasn't on target, the 2-1 win last Friday in Tulsa over Rio Grande Valley. And not the best of kicks from Steinahar, is going through a few growing pains, but does show a lot of promise.
To his credit, there hasn't been much he can do on most of these goals this evening. They've been well worked by G2.
Williams unable to chase it down. 5 minutes plus added on time here left at the Dig. Dignity Health Sports Park here at the Track and Field Stadium. Newly refurbished. Great place to catch a game if you're in the Southern California area. Referee waves it on, and that's a poor ball from De Costa. He's got his lines crossed with Jayakwa, who had made the run. Just sent it out of play.
LA not in any hurry.
That is for sure. Hedrick tracking it down. Does well with Williams on his back. Adai. Lobo. higher pressure right now as Vera comes out. Trying to break that line, and that first line is broken. It's Gonzalez. Nice touch out wide. Ajekwa. Here's the other talisman for Tulsa and Rodrigo De Costa. Has played such a big role in both goals. On the providing end, but Ajekwa trying to do it this time. They pushed it out wide and sent up for Vom Steeg, who made an assured grab of it. Confident take that time from the young LA goalkeeper. .6'4" from nearby Santa Barbara, California, where he grew up. And another tough challenge between Williams and Roberts.
LA's fine with these fouls. Every time there's a whistle blown, you can just see that time keep ticking away.
You get in those advantageous positions with that 3-goal advantage, and you want to manage the match. It's a real test of the maturity and discipline. In the run of play, it's looked pretty good, but both goals coming off dead balls. Schultz for Jose Hernandez. Oh, clever stuff now as it's put in. Vera trying to drag it back. Hernandez continues his run, and it's Jose Hernandez. Had a real tough angle. Unfortunately for Tulsa, nothing coming about out of that, but you see that burst of speed from Jose Hernandez and how clever he is technically.
Yeah, very good skill there on such a tight angle. Maybe you like to see him cut it back. It looked like Augie Williams was just sitting there waiting to tap it in, but nonetheless, some creative skill there you can see from Hernandez.
Such a technically gifted player. Came through the Real Salt Lake Academy there in Arizona. Vera's cross, it's not a bad one, as Williams rose, and so too did Carlos Harvey. Not exactly the same degree as bread and butter as aerial balls for LA as it is for Tulsa, but dangerous nonetheless. Go against Fittis as he brought down a Jankwa. Free kick now for Tulsa. Time of the essence, final minute plus added on time. As all eyes will look to the fourth official and Reina Fonseca momentarily to determine how much time will be added on. It'll be crucial to Tulsa hopes. Hey, they get one here, they can make life really interesting. You know what they can do from dead balls, but LA weather the storm. Koreniuk can't clear. And finally they do behind Carlos Harvey, who just belts one forward. Hilliard Arce underneath it. Ajekwa. So a minimum of 3 minutes will be added on, at least 3 minutes. Time of the essence, but once again, a big strong presence. This time Ernesto Walker getting ahead to it for LA. Here's Altamirano for Tulsa. To the far post, and Gonzalez let it drop. Not the best of defending, but LA doing just enough.
Yeah, nice ball. Really, Gonzalez, all he had to do was get a foot or a head on it, send it back across the 6 to create a opportunity. Vom Steeg happy to see that one go out for a goal kick.
They're nearly there as we are into the 2nd minute of added on time. Walker couldn't find the link with Hernandez. Some discrepancy on the throw in here. We'll see a substitution late on for the Galaxy. So Vera will come off and on will come on Omar Ontiveros, the defender, just to shore things up back there. Good night tonight for Vera, who is at the center of a lot for Los Dos. It's a pat on the back from his head coach, Mike Munoz, as well. coming in. And he'll come out for a throw here. So a goal kick here for Vom Steeg. Hernandez. Hernandez just losing out to De Costa. It was a game effort here, but a bridge too far in the end for the Tulsa Roughnecks. And that's going to do it full time in a huge win. Back-to-back victories for the Los Angeles Galaxy. It all started in the first half. Ethan Zubak with the penalty spot strike, and then 2 goals from Kai Koreniuk. And then it was Zubak once again, and a nice performance for the Galaxy despite a scare from the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Yeah, we talked about stacking W's, and that's exactly what they've done tonight for the first time this season. 2 consecutive wins at home in front of a great LA Galaxy 2 crowd. All in all, a fantastic evening here in Carson.
So a big win for the Galaxy as they move up to 9 points through 5 games and bringing themselves to within 1 of the Tulsa Roughnecks. Full time here in Carson. It's the LA Galaxy 2-4, the Tulsa Roughnecks 2.
Copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
I feel good is the theme tonight, and certainly the Galaxy do as well. Ethan Zubak, a man of the match performance and a huge win for Los Dos as they grab their 3rd in the first 5 games in USL and defeat the Western Conference leaders by 4-2. Troy Bharti joining me tonight. It's a pleasure to have you along. Final thoughts before we sign off, Troy.
Well, it wasn't a shutout, but Galaxy 2 scored 4 goals, so everyone's happy here in attendance, especially Mike Munoz, sealing the deal with all 3 points tonight.
So happy times for the LA Galaxy as they went out. The final score, once again, LA Galaxy 4, the Tulsa Roughnecks 2. On behalf of the entire crew here at The Dig, and my buddy Troy Bharti, it was a lot of fun. I'm Christian Miles saying good night from Carson.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.